Back again with a new video featuring the Nami list that was in the game between Nami and Zoro. Let me just get right into it and go over a couple things that I want to share with you guys. For starters, we have 4 Buggy, one of the main search cards. Can grab a 2K or can grab something defensive. 4 Mr. 1, the best way to recover Gavel and to keep your defense rolling later into the game. And he's a body. 2 Mr. 2s, just a 2K so that Buggy has more options of cards to grab. 2 Piece, also another 2K. Because a lot of the time you do not want to give up Kaya in order to prolong the game state. And this also has the ability to add Kaya to your hand if you don't open with it, while also diminishing your hand size, which could be a problem, but will help later with Deathwink. 3 Zeph. The reasoning for 3 Zeph is it is dead in a lot of matchups. It is one of the ways to win, but is not your main win condition. So I forgo one of the copies of Zeph. And then the Heart and Soul for Kaya. If you don't open this, you need to draw a piece or find a way very quickly to get this, and then proceed to loop this to trigger Nami's win condition, getting all the cards out of your deck. That's all for the characters. On to the events. It is an event-heavy deck. Most of this is pretty standard, I'd say, for most Nami lists. 4 Brick Fist helps the combo with the Kayas and the Mr. 1s. Occasionally, you might have to bounce one of your opponent's cards to continue with the bouncing. This also has the trigger to bounce. Typically, though, you want to use it out of the hand for the ability to trash 2 from the top of your deck. Quickly, these can add up to getting all the cards reduced to 0 in your deck. To continue with the card mill, you have Usopp's Rubber Band. Not quite as good as Gavel, but I can argue it has a better trigger. And that is a lot of times how this deck wins, is based off of the triggers that you pull throughout the game. Move those away from the glare. We have 4 Peel-Off. Again, another Heart and Soul deck along with Impel Down All-Stars. You can't play this, but you can search it off a Buggy. You can discard it, and if it triggers, it's a draw 2. So these are the main ways you win. If you see 1 or 2 of those in your life, you should be able to win the game. To round it out, there's 4 Deathwink. I think that this card really exemplifies the Nami player. You want to hold these until the end of the game for the big swings, but also to replenish the hand and get the last few remaining cards out of your deck. It really makes a big difference the way that you play this, especially with it being 3 costs. It's a little bit more expensive compared to the other cards. 4 Desert Espada. This is just staple, more good triggers, and then the counter isn't bad in the early game. It can help you see a Kaya to set up your draws, or to set up your draws for late game. Now, this isn't standard by any means. I believe it's 4 Love Love Mellow. I prefer 2 because I feel like the cost is a bit steep. And again, it's similar to Deathwink, where you have to have low amount of cards in hand. So I typically try to hold these for the end game. But most importantly, it does not have trigger. Because of that, I do not want to play more than, say, 2 to 3 copies, because I really feel that the triggers are what puts the Nami deck over the top. And then last but not least, 1 Gum Gum Rain. This was the 4th Zeph, but I just felt like I needed some more defense, and it has a decent trigger. But most importantly, it costs 0, and you just have to discard a card from your hand to play it. So your opponent can't always anticipate that, and that helps a lot. But that's pretty much it. It's a standard Nami list for the most part. I'd say that as blue cards get released, there's more things that can be done. But for now, with what we have, I think this is the best way to do it if you're trying to get all the cards out of your deck as fast as possible. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and thank you. Straw Hats, have a good day.